With that said, we move right into item 8, approval of minutes. Number 1, motion to accept the minutes of November 24, 2020 regular session. Can I get a motion? That's a motion by Mr. Wendell, second by Mr. Robert. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes with 7 yeas, 0 nays, 2 absences, 8 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 absent. That absence being Mr. Melvin. I was going to still call Mr. Jones as absent, but he's here now. Gotcha. Okay, item B, we have none. Item C, presentations and updates. Number 2, Parish President to recognize the Lafourche Parish Government Employee of the Month and or WOW Employee for the month of November. Mr. Parish Administrator, you have the mic, and also if you don't mind, just let everyone know the status of our Parish President.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First off, Parish President Chasson actually had an invitation at the end of last week to visit the White House for a coronavirus task force meeting as it relates to getting the vaccines out. So he spent the day meeting with some officials there, going over how they're going to roll out the vaccine. Ms. Linda Grove is our nomination for this month. Ms. Linda always goes above and beyond to help citizens of Lafourche. People always comment on how helpful and kind she is and how she goes above and beyond for everyone. She does whatever's needed, and that everyone always gets some sort of help on a way to move forward if they run into some sort of issue or whatnot. So with that, Ms. Grove, you got a photograph?
Awesome. Congratulations, Linda. I'll comment, she is very good at her job, and she's often one of the ones I look to get answers, so thank you again, Linda. Okay, item D, engineers, architect reports. Do we have any engineers, architects looking to give a report in front of the council tonight? Miss Sandy, is Miss Sandy, you going to be wishing to address us? Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Is it good? Yep. We good.
One second.
Saying I know it's been a while, if you don't mind, just state your name and the firm and all that. That'd be great.
He's right on the speaker.
The TV froze.
Oh, it's a TV. Can you close the platform? Alt F4.
We'll go forward and if you can get it up. Sandy Guidry, Angela Nisiola, 13379. 3235. I've got 2 projects. We've got the drainage improvements. We've submitted plans and specs to administration. As soon as we get the right-of-ways acquired and they approve the plans, we can move forward with advertising for bid. It's coming out now. There we go. The improvements include some regrading and widening the existing outfall canal, We're gonna add some subsurface drainage to get water out of that subdivision, and then we're gonna improve the existing drainage. A lot of them are too small and just crushed in and, need to be replaced. Our second project is the West 107th Street drainage improvements. We've submitted final plans and specs to administration for approval. Once we get the right-of-ways and approval from administration, we can begin advertising for bids. And this is just adding some subsurface drainage to the existing outfall canal. And that's it. Any questions?
Anyone have any questions for Sandy? I'll say, Sandy, I'm pleased to see you. I know my first 4 years on the council, actually every meeting about the industrial flow wall project because of that's just my highest concentration of calls because of drainage, so I'm ecstatic to see it back in the limelight.
And that's
So
we're
it's great to see
finally
you again, so
on the final phase 3 part of it, so.
excellent. Thank you so much, Sandy. We appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Any other engineers and/or architect reports? There being none, we'll move on to item E, public wishing to address the council, public hearings, agenda items, etc. Ms. Corleen.
Miss Lisa Flegel, am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. If you come to the podium, Miss Flegel, state your name and address for the record, please. Remember, you have 3 minutes.
Sure. Hi, can you hear me?
Turn it
Hello?
Turn it, should I turn it on?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Lisa Machen Flegel. I'm going to request that I get 2 minutes per issue because I have 3 issues that I'd like to talk to you about, and you can tell me to deal with it later if we run out of time. I have two-
If you're comfortable with it, you can pull your mask down.
Okay, I'm actually not.
Okay.
My address for the record is 202 Fern Lane in Bayou Blue, and Jim Lindell is my council member. I'd like to talk about 2 transportation issues. We're having a lot of dangerous free-running traffic in the Bayou Bend neighborhood, and I'm coming up here to request that we get one of the solar radar detection light systems put up, one of the temporary systems on the main street, so we can kind of bring awareness to the fact that people need to slow down and keep the children safe. So that's my first traffic issue. The second traffic issue I'd like to discuss or be brought up is the amount of wrecks that are happening on the Bayou Blue Road where it intersects with Bayou Gardens Boulevard. I'm not sure if that has been studied, but I've noticed at least 1 wreck every single week that not only endangers people, families, but it also impacts the whole community because that's our main turnoff to go into Homa or to go up the Bayou, down the Bayou. It's really dangerous, and I don't know if we're looking at a roundabout or a red light or maybe more signage, but we need to look at the incidence of wrecks and determine who is responsible for that since it's on the Lafourche Parish, Terrebonne Parish line. So those are my 2 transportation issues. And then finally, I'd like to just introduce myself and introduce Operation Yellow. So I'm born and raised in Lafourche Parish. I graduated from Central Lafourche, go Trojans, and I'm an NSU graduate. I graduated in communications and I've worked in public relations all over the country for the last 15 years. I did move back to the Bayou. You were addressing my mask. The reason I moved back is because I have an autoimmune disease that I've been fighting for the last 2 years. And it's because of medication that can cause blindness that I'm standing here today. I was crippled before I started on Plaquenil. My mother, my grandmother, my grandfather, my aunties all have had cancer. My daughter has asthma. What's happening to people in this area is massive. Our health is out of line with what's happening with the rest of the country. So I would like to start Operation Yellow. I've put in about 200 of my personal hours to move this forward, and Operation Yellow is to educate, remove stigma, and provide a greater level of safety to high-risk populations as it relates to COVID and emerging microbiologics that affect the community. I have a lot of capacity and administrative work already done. I'm currently seeking candidates for the board to serve and assist, volunteer with Operation Yellow. I'm looking for professional skills such as financial, management, and legal filing. I'm also seeking members that have time or have developed contacts with other leaders in the community who are like-minded and would like to get involved in making a difference in Lafourche Parish in the area.
Mr. Jim, it was just 3 more minutes.
May I have 2 more minutes?
You can continue.
Okay. As I said, Operation Yellow has been fully run with my own equipment, my own mind, my own hours, my own home, my own hardware, my own software, and I'm looking for seed money and I'm looking to move forward. I'm personally dedicated to this because of my background and will not walk away from this project. Some things that you need to know is that Louisiana's population currently has a 42% pre-existing condition rate. With a population of 97,000 people in Lafourche Parish, that means that we have a population with pre-existing conditions that make it easier for them to die of COVID of a total of 40,740 people. The funds that are used through Operation Yellow will work to communicate and safeguard the 40,000 plus people in Lafourche Parish that are high risk. Currently, it costs $70,000 per single hospitalization for a COVID patient. I don't know what the numbers are in Louisiana right now, but I can guarantee you it's way more than what I'm asking for seed money. I would like to close by respectfully asking for any contacts or donations of time, money, funding, or contacts with public health initiatives specifically for healthcare and COVID. And just thank you all for your service and time, and I'll be here to the end of the meeting if you'd like to talk some more.
Very good. Mr. Jim?
Hi, Ms. Lisa, thank you for coming out. I'll just address each of your things very quickly. The first thing, the traffic in Bayou subdivision. Have been working on that for the last couple of weeks, taking a look at some things. I do plan on reaching out this week to the traffic section of the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. They have several different avenues that can be taken to gather data in the neighborhood. The solar trailer that you talked about, usually once they put those out on location, the speeding stops and we don't get a true snapshot because it's just like a police car sitting there. I see Steve riding in the back. Steve works Bayou Blue quite a bit when the schools aren't in, and I'm sure he can do some extra patrols there. But anyway, I'm going to talk to them about some of their stealth tools that they have. These things look like mailboxes, street transformers, light transformers and things, and it'll give us a snapshot of the area so that we can take a look at some alternatives before that. So I'll get with the enforcement section of the Sheriff's Office and line that up. The wrecks in Bayou Gardens, there have been some wrecks. I both work for the Sheriff's Office and respond as the EMS chief for the local fire department in Bayou Blue. That intersection is kind of tricky because it is a state highway. Even though it resides in Lafourche Parish, the feeder road comes out of Terrebonne Parish. I have talked to some Terrebonne Parish people. I have talked to some state people. That intersection has been studied at least twice. Before I was on the council, while I was doing the service work for the Sheriff's Office, we did have that. And unfortunately, from the last collection of data that we have, the statistics for the intersection do not support any type of mechanical control, electronic control light. I do have some solutions in mind after taking a look at it. I've probably spent about 120 hours sitting at that intersection in a police car taking a look at it. So the process is underway. It's just slow because everybody says, no, it's not me. I've actually talked with parish administration last year in my, I guess for lack of better terms, wish list for the district is to get some solar powered flashing lights, 2 amber and 1 red, just to give a little bit more attention to that intersection. We put up a sign, intersection ahead, the intersection sign that's there with the little T, and have a flashing light there. Since it is a state issue, I don't know if the parish administration is seeing if it's something that we can get installed or something that they can get approved through the state to get installed. But we are trying to bring a little bit more visibility until we can get some action on the road. I don't know if you are aware, but a few weeks ago, parish administration, myself, along with our new economic and development division that we have, went out there, and Cairo, which is not too far from that, announced a large development or a large expansion at their plant there. So we expect a significant increase in not only the commercial traffic there, but also some regular car and truck traffic for additional jobs that have been created in the area as well. Our state representative Jerome Zarang for that particular area was there. Sheriff Kurt Weber also mentioned the roadway. Z said something about the roadway, so we have planted the seeds in the correct ears. We just need to carry out and do what we need to do. So those things are under. And Operation Yellow, if you could give me some more information on that, I'll take a look at the contact list I have, compare it to maybe some of the parish programs that, you know, we may be able to work with, I guess, for, you know, terms of contact or financial support to get you some contacts to get that ball rolling as well. Once again, thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions? Mike Rowe.
Jim, I'll be happy to, it sounds like you got covered, but with the MPO being the council liaison, I don't mind getting with Josh Manning and those guys and Archie as well can do it. But just to bring to them and say, hey, what's been studied? A lot of times they've been looking at this years and years down the line, so they may have more stuff that you haven't uncovered yet. So, or get on their radar. The more people looking at it, like you said, if you got Jerome and all on it, the more people the better. But it may be something that they have already. So I'll definitely, if you send me the information, I'll definitely kick it up to them. And then on the operation, well, thank you for coming, but on the Operation Yellow, do you have, for the people watching online, do you have like a Facebook site or Venmo or PayPal or anything you wanted to mention that where they can go to find information about it and donate if they would?
Actually, I am trying to establish who to pick and choose from the candidates for the board members before I start putting out messages, because I feel that this is not me, it's more than me, it's about community. I see it as an idea that's going to take its shape and not be steered completely by me. So I haven't put out any public messages. This is my first contact to speak about it, because I would like guidance, assistance, and just like group thought process before we actually put out the official message.
Right. There are a lot of people out there that want to give back. And,
Right, exactly.
you know, if you don't want to share a personal email, maybe an email, a phone number, if you want to share an email address, possibly somebody listening may contact you.
Absolutely. So I am available on Facebook as a person under Lisa Machen Flegel, and that's Lisa Machen, M-A-C-H-E-N. Last name is Flegel, that's like Frank, L-E-A-G-L-E. So I am available on Facebook. I also have an email address, lisa_Machen@hotmail.com. And the Facebook website, the actual website itself is under construction. So that will be publicly made public in about 2 weeks. Once we get, everyone definitely lined up and committed to spending the time and resources. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Mr. Administrator.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Subject to the Valley Gardens discussion, just very recently, within the last day or so, got an email. We had reached out to DOTD once Councilman Wendell had brought up his concerns there and also his request, and I had personally reached out to him. Apparently, they're going to be doing a traffic count and study in that area in the very near future. So it apparently is on their radar screen again. So the bird dogging that we've done on it apparently is putting it in the sphere. So we're going to have to stay on that.
Very good. Thank you for the information, Ms. Oderall. That's it. Thank you so much for coming, Jessica.
Thank you,
Oh,
ladies and
Mr. Graver, hold on, Mr. Graver.
In relation to the bylaw,
Yeah,
the
sure.
opposite end.
Mr. Graver, hold on 1 second. Dylan, show me with budget press president.
I'm
Yeah, there you go.
sorry, I
You
thought I
got
had
it,
it
you
on.
got it, you got it.
The opposite end on the coastal side, there's a restaurant, correct? But on the
Yeah.
Bayou Road, is not.
Yes.
And the question on Operation Yellow, you said the cost to the patient is $70,000 a year?
The average
Hospitalization?
cost of hospitalization is $70,000 per person.
Yeah, I thought the government was picking this. I thought it was my understanding.
I don't have information on an individual basis on who's getting billed with insurance, if insurance is picking it up, what are the co-pays. I do know that for anybody who's been hospitalized, walking away with a hospital bill with just co-pays can be $20,000. When my mom died of cancer, the bills that she was left with was about $40,000 for a 1-month stay in the hospital.
But she
And that
died
was
of
20
cancer,
years
but-
ago. She died of cancer with insurance.
Okay,
So
but my
there's a lot-
understanding, with the COVID situation, the government was picking up. I'm not
Right.
questioning you, I'm just
Right.
asking what's the fact here?
Right. No, I'm not debating about whether or not an individual's paying that $70,000 or if the government's paying that $70,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Either way, it comes out of our pockets because we are the
Exactly.
taxpayers funding the government. So every small chance that we have to prevent that $70,000 means a better life and future for our kids and the next generation.
I have no problem with that, I just want to clarify that, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Jim, you got a follow-up?
Miss Lisa can go, I just have a general.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lisa, we appreciate it. All right, what you got, Mr. Jim?
Going back to Bayou Gardens, I see on the Facebook feed now, there's some comments about it, and it's been some heated discussion on the community Facebook page in the last couple of days. And as I explained with Ms. Lisa, it is a state highway, and the feeder road comes out of Terrebonne Parish. Even though the intersection is located in Lafourche Parish, Lafourche has no authority to install a traffic control signal, red light, stop sign, anything on a state highway. Cannot legally be done. I've been contacted by 2 or 3 people this week who have who have stopped the Facebook venting, and now we're meeting to get to the meat and potatoes of it to try to come up to some solutions. But I'll just say this, and I'll say it publicly. This is not something that I'm going to allow to go away. We are meeting with the state on it, which is the process that has to be taken. There's a process for everything. There's steps to go through, and unfortunately, that's the cross that we have to bear. As Mr. Ogeron just mentioned, he got a call in the last couple of days from us bird dogging and not letting it go and trying to find a solution. There will be another traffic study done. So if this is something that you want to Facebook vent about, that's your priority or prerogative to do so. But if you'd like to get down and really discuss it and talk about it instead of just throwing things back and forth online, please reach out to me, text me, send me an email. I'd be more than happy to go out and meet with you, explain the processes, and hopefully you would get on board with our initiatives to kind of drive this and move it forward. Because the back and forth that's been going on with the comments in the Facebook, that stays in our community and it's really not solving any problem. If we want to get some resolution to this, we have to come together as a group and move forward as a community. This is not a one-person thing or just a couple people, reaching out to a representative or writing a letter. We all have to come together and do it. And unfortunately, the responsibility doesn't fall on Lafourche Parish government, where we have some say or control. This is a state issue. So I'd be more than happy to meet with anyone about it, talk to anyone about it, and hopefully get a game plan together so we can move forward and find some resolution to this issue. Thank you.
Ms. Coyne, you have anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Brings us to item F, public hearing on ordinances for ratification. I entertain a motion to open public hearing. So moved by Mr. Jones, second by Mr. Adams. All in favor signify by saying yea.
Yay.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent, that absence being Councilman Melvin. Item 3, ordinance approving a temporary servitude agreement between Michael Trahan and the Lafourche Parish government in the Raceland area and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all other documents. Mr. Grove will move on Mr. Melvin's behalf of the administration, second by Mr. Adams. Would anyone from the public like to comment on item 3? 1 time, 2 times, 3 times? Anyone from the council would like to discuss it? There will be none. We'll move it to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent, that absence being Councilman Melvin. Item 4, ordinance providing for a 2020 supplemental appropriation 20-036 within the 2020 operations and maintenance budget and capital outlay budget to adjust for year-end projections to be in compliance with state budget requirements and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said transactions as provided for by Article 6 of the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter, moved by Councilman Jones for the administration, second by Councilman Adams. We do have an amendment. Item A, amendment under Section 1, Fund 104, Drainage, number 2, should read as follows. Number 2, scratched out an increase and actually states decrease in wages and employee benefits in the amount of $200,000. This amendment is being sponsored by Councilman Jones for the administration, second by Councilman Adams. Would anyone is everyone clear on that amendment? Anyone has any questions? Would anyone from the public like to comment on the amendment? 1 time, 2 times, anyone from the public, 3 times, anyone from the council? There being none, we'll move this to a vote. This is for the amendment. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Councilman Melvin. Now we will move to the actual ordinance as amended. Anyone from the public would like to comment on the ordinance as amended? 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, anyone from the council? There being none, we'll move it to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Councilman Melvin. I'll now entertain a motion to close public hearing. So moved by Mr. Wendell, second by Mr. Grauber. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent, that absence being Councilman Melvin. With that said, Mr. Groh, would you be so kind as to read the proposed ordinances, item G?
Item G, proposed ordinance. Number 5, proposed ordinance providing for a 2020 supplemental appropriation 20-037 within the 2020 operations and maintenance budget in the amount of $90,000 for the Bayou Civic Club, LaRue Civic Center, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said transactions as provided for by Article 6 of the Lafourche Parish Home Rule Charter, moved by Ms. Chasson for the administration. Item number 6, proposed ordinance approving a temporary servitude agreement between Anthony J. Collins and Troy Thompson III and Lafourche Parish government in the Thibodaux area, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents, moved by Mr. Jones for the administration. Item number 7, proposed ordinance approving an act of donation between Lafourche Parish Drainage District Number 1 and Lafourche Parish government for the donation of 2 John Deere 6110M tractors, 160 Tiger Side rotary mower, and 150 Tiger Bengal Series mid-mount hydraulic rotary boom mower, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said donation and all relevant documents, sponsored by Mr. Lorraine for the administration.
Very good, thank you, Mr. Groh. Item H, resolutions. Number 8, resolution accepting the quote of Lafourche Animal Hospital to provide veterinary services on an as-needed and as-called-upon basis for the Lafourche Parish Animal Shelter, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said contract and any other relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Groh for the administration, second by Mr. Adams. Anyone wants to discuss? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Councilman Melvin. Item 9, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the Lafourche Parish government and the Louisiana State Animal Response Team for assisting in the event of an emergency, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Groh for the administration, second by Mr. Jones. Anyone from the council wants to discuss this? There being none, we'll move to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Councilman Melvin. Item 10, resolution approving a cooperative endeavor agreement between Lafourche Parish government and the Board of Supervisors of Louisiana State University and Agricultural and Mechanical College to provide services at the Lafourche Parish Animal Shelter for the year 2021, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Groh for the administration. And I got a second, second by Mr. Adams. Any discussion on item 10? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Mr. Melvin. Item 11, resolution approving amendment number 1 to the agreement between Lafourche Parish government and GIS Engineering LLC for the project titled Drainage Improvements along West 55th Street, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said amendment and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Ms. Chasson for the administration, second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? Mr. Lorraine.
Yeah, I just want to know the Drainage District 1 put up $50,000 in the previous administration and we locked it in. That's the fund y'all are using?
You have that answer, Mr. Administrator? The question is the Drainage District participating on this particular project at $50,000?
They are participating in the project, but it is actually more than that.
No, I know it's more than that, but just this. This is
Yes, that is
engineering
correct.
study,
That
getting
is
it ready.
correct. That is correct.
What had happened in the last administration, they put up 100,000. 50 went to the 11th district for fuel, and 50 went back to the drainage district, and they submitted it for this project. For this project's been ongoing for 15 years. And so that's why we put in my ordinance that it was, nobody could use it. So that's what you're using. Plus, they're gonna probably participate and pay for the rest of the project. That's what you're talking about.
Correct.
Okay?
Yeah,
No,
good.
that's
Good.
all I wanted to know.
Good deal. Thank you, Mr.
It
Lorraine.
is a good deal.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a 15 years they're trying to fix that.
Good. Anyone else have any comments on item number 11? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 absence, that absence being Mr. Melvin. Hold on a second. So is this one? Okay, so item 12 is actually going to be deferred to the first meeting in January 12, 21. Is that the intention, Mr. Odell, to defer that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good deal. So that's going to be rescheduled to January 12, 2021. Got it, Mr. Rowley?
Yes, sir.
Okay, deferred. Item 13, resolution approving an agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and GIS Engineering LLC for professional engineering and design services for the Grand Bayou Freshwater Reintroduction Project, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Ms. Chesson will move on behalf of the administration, second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Councilman Melvin. Item 14, resolution approving an agreement between Lafourche Parish Government and Nationwide Retirement Plans to administer the 457 Deferred Compensation Plan, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Adams for the administration, second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? There being none, we'll move this to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Councilman Melvin. Item 15, resolution approving an agreement between Nicholls State University and Lafourche Parish Government for monitoring and data collection activities related to the Bayou Lewis Marsh Terraces Phase 4 project, and authorizing the parish president to sign, execute, and administer said agreement and any and all relevant documents. Moved by Mr. Lorraine for the administration. Got a second by Mr. Grabert. Any discussion? There being none, we'll move it to a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Mr. Melvin. Item 16, resolution reappointing 1 member on the Lafourche Parish Animal Shelter Advisory Board. Mr. Wendell, for the administration, who do you have, Mr. Wendell?
1 reappointment for seat E, and that's going to be Ms. Tina Robichaud.
We have Ms. Tina Robichaud. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 absence. Item 17, resolution reappointing 1 member on the Hospital Service District Number 2 Board. Mr. Grabert, will you be so kind as to sponsor this for the administration, Mr. Grabert? The nominee was Mr. Leonard St. Pierre. Thank you very much. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Chesson. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 absence, that absence being Councilman Melvin. Item 18, resolution appointing 1 member on the Fire Protection District Number 3 Board. Ms. Chesson for the administration. Who do you have, Ms. Chesson?
We have 3 that applied. We have Scott Bynum, Chad Bourgeois, and Aaron Montez.
If you would nominate 1, we'll vote on that one. If it fails, we'll go to the next one, Ms.
I nominate
Chesson.
Mr. Aaron Montez.
So we have Mr. Aaron Montez. Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Groom. Any discussion? Mr. Lorraine.
I just want to say that, the one that's serving on that board as we speak is Mr. Chad Bourgeois, and Scott Bam, he works for the port, he's probably a good guy, I read his resume. Jim Montez is a good guy, and Chad is a good guy, he's the one serving now, so we're gonna take him off and remove him and put Jim. I just feel that when somebody's serving on a board and they want to continue, and they make the meetings, and they do a good job, they should get reappointed. But, you know, and like I said, all 3 are good. But the guy, I mean, everybody that's on the board, you can see here tonight, most of them get reappointed. And I don't see where, if the guy wouldn't make the meetings, but I checked all that out, and he never misses any meetings, he's pretty good. They got, let's see, two police officers on there. Jim once worked for the policeman.
As the second time you said it, Mr. Daniel, it's not Mr. Jim, it's his son, Aaron.
Oh, okay, I thought it was Jim.
No, it's Aaron. Works for the Lafourche Parish
But I
Sheriff's
just
Office.
feel that if somebody's on the board and they're serving and they do a good job, this should remain. That's just me.
Understood. Thank you, Mr. Lorraine. So once again, we have Mr. Aaron Montez that was nominated and seconded. So that's what we're going to move to vote on. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed say nay.
Nay.
So if I'm correct, it's only one nay. So the motion passes with 7 yeas, 1 nay, that nay being Mr. Lorraine, 1 absent, that absence being Mr. Melvin. Item 19, resolution appointing 1 member to the Recreation District Number 3 Board. Mr. Lorraine for administration, who do you have, Mr. Lorraine?
There's only one that applied and the board was open. Michael Colley.
Mr. Michael Colley. Can I get a second for Mr. Michael Colley? A second by Ms. Chesson. Any discussion? There be none. We'll move to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Mr. Melvin. Item 20, resolution reappointing 1 member on the Sewage District Number 7 Board. Mr. Grove will move for the administration on Bo's behalf. Mr. Grove, who do you have?
Ms. Madeline Abear.
Ms. Madeline Abear, a second by Mr. Adams. Any discussion? There be none. We'll move to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Mr. Melvin. Item 21, resolution appointing 1 member to the Housing Authority of Lafourche Parish Board. Mr. Grove for the administration. Who do you have, Mr. Grove?
Christopher Richardson.
Mr. Richardson, second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Mr. Melvin. Item 22, resolution appointing 4 members to the Recreation District Number 5 Board. Good job, Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams for administration, who do you have?
Okay, I'm gonna butcher the name, I'm sorry if I do. It's, first name, I have 4 vacancies, 4 applications. Casey Jaru.
Jaru.
Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Sean Tardif. Okay, thank you. William Ridgway and Shane Trosclair. And I'd just like to thank Shane because he's the one that got everybody on board, and we have big plans for our recreation district, so thank y'all guys.
Awesome. And thank them for all stepping up. We got a second to those by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, and 1 absence, that absence being Mr. Melvin. Item 23, resolution reappointing 1 member on the Lafourche Parish Animal Shelter Advisory Board. Mr. Graubear for the administration. Mr. Graubear, who do you have?
This is a reappointment of Betsy McGee.
Ms. Betsy McGee, can I get a second? Second by Mr. Lorraine. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Mr. Melvin. Item I, Parish President, Department Heads, Directors, or Manager Reports, Presentations, and or Updates. Number 24, the Department of Public Works Representative to present their report. Mr. Dillon, you have the floor.
Thank you. Okay, if everybody's ready, we'll get started with the general presentation. Start with District 1, Declare Drive, clean concrete ditch. Moving to District 2, Choctaw South Levee, clean levee canal. Emerald Park, swept outfall. District 3, Abear Ditch, cut the grass. District 4, crossing North Canal, remove stumps. 4 Point Drive, swept drainage ditch. Landmark Drive, swept outfall. Moving to District 5, Highway 182 outfall, remove trees. Holly Drive, swept roadside ditches. St. Marie Drive, swept roadside ditches. Moving to District 6, this is Dalton Street, swept roadside ditches. This is Central Lafourche Drive drainage improvements. This is actually work of our new maintenance contractor. This is the first job they do for us here, so you won't recognize any of the guys in these pictures. They did a really good job, came in and knocked it out. They are wrapping up this as we speak, and we're looking to move on to phase 2 if we have the funding for it. You'll see here a finished product.
Is this another one that drainage district is participating in?
No, sir.
No.
Not to my knowledge. The money was already in the budget when we got here. There was $200,000 in the budget to my knowledge, and it was for 3 streets in the area. St. Philip was one of them. Cypress was another, and Central Lafourche was this one. Central Lafourche was the only one that was started when we got here, so our main focus is on that. Cypress and St. Philip are part of a much bigger project that may come down the road through North Lafourche Levy District and statewide flood control. So we're crossing our fingers that all comes to fruition, and we can utilize the money here on Central Lafourche Drive and get state dollars on the Cypress and St. Philip Street projects. St. Patrick Street outfall, so at the outfall canal. Moving to District 7, this is the cement ditch in Lockport. This is near Blackie's. We had a lot of issues there here recently, a lot of trees that have fallen over. During the hurricane, a shed from a roof from a shed, excuse me, flew and fell in the ditch. So we were able to get access to this through a neighbor who was gracious enough to let us get on his property with some equipment, and we cleaned it out.
I don't mean to interrupt you again,
No, it's
Bill.
fine.
You have this picture of, is it possible to, so where you see the shed porch right here?
Yes, sir.
So I've been getting a lot of calls about, is there a way to, have them take action on that building? I know it's private property, but that keeps ending up in the ditches as a nuisance abatement.
Yeah,
Just a
sure.
thought, if you guys want to, embark on that, if you need assistance.
No, I'll meet with solid waste tomorrow, we'll look into it.
Good deal.
Yes, sir. Still in District 7, this is Hamilton Street, remove some down trees. LeBlanc Drive, swept roadside ditches. This is the Lockport boat launch, this is the addition to the launch. And the final pictures here. Sanders Street, repair potholes. Moving to District 8, this is East 7th Street, swept roadside ditches. East 26th Place, replaced speed limit sign and added children at play signs. And the same thing on East 27th Place. East 37th Street, installed driveway culvert. East 43rd Street, installed the driveway culvert. West 46th Street outfall, swept the outfall. Moving to District 9, this is East 114th and 115th Street, swept roadside ditches. The Leville boat launch pier, we cleaned the pier. There's a lot of vegetation and stuff left over, debris from the storm that was on it, so we got on it and moved it. Also, the pier has been hit by something, so we have an engineer looking into it to see what it'll take for us to repair this thing. This is a replacement of a sign in front of the Leville boat launch. West 123rd Street, repaired ruts. West 209th Street, installed 15-mile-per-hour speed limit signs. And that is it. Any questions?
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for them? Mr. Lorraine?
Yeah, I want to get back to what you were saying, on Central Lafourche Drive. Before they came in, there was a project that Drainage District paid for.
That's what I thought.
It was supposed to be for you in, by the car wash, what's the name of that subdivision?
Myrtle Drive? Myrtle, Karen?
No, the one on 308, around where you live.
Oh, yeah, he's talking, it's on Myrtle. That's
Okay,
Myrtle.
well, okay, we're supposed to address that. Well, not y'all, it was the previous administration. What happened, they bought some material to take care of the job, but it was in question. So they took the material from that job and brought it to Central Lafourche Drive. Then that was just something that was left, that they finished, right?
Yes,
That
sir.
y'all took over.
Yes.
So that, you were right,
It
that
was drained, that's what I thought.
they did participate.
Inadvertently, they participated.
And
Is what he's insinuating.
y'all paid them back.
Yes, sir, we gave him a check for the culverts.
Yeah, because
That
it was
was
a walked
misplaced.
endeavor to take care of that project, and they didn't follow it.
I will say this, the Myrtle Drive, where, thanks to Dylan and Bill Floyd just stepped out, but the railroad company had allowed them to open up. So since the railroad allowed the opening, that drainage on Myrtle has improved tremendously.
And
So,
Why, they were scared if they would put covers down on it, without them doing what the railroad people let you do, it wouldn't have worked.
so, the Drainage District has also agreed, they've contracted GIS engineering, and they're gonna pay GIS engineering to study ranchland trace. So we're gonna have a solution to that here pretty soon, thanks to the Drainage District.
the railroad is a big problem for us.
It's always been a problem.
Good. Anyone else have any questions, Mr. Grove?
I was just showing Mr. Jones, Sugar Mill Road, I didn't get a chance to call, Jerome, I just saw somebody put on Facebook, it's trash. I mean, it looks like there's a bunch of tires, 4 tires. I'll show you when you sit back down, if you need Jerome on that tomorrow.
That happens this time of year.
Yeah. And also, when you mentioned the boat launch, it reminded me, about a pier having something obstructed. I've been talking with administration about, cameras for some of these boat launches. And I hope I don't give people ideas with this, but people need to quit dumping deer carcasses at boat launches. It's ridiculous. And dumping trash and stuff like that, our drinking supply is horrible, you know, and I just don't know. And when I'm talking to you about with the tires, and I mean, it just, people, for the life of me, I don't understand why they don't handle that trash better than that, you know. Or just have the common decency, you don't drop your crawfish peelings and the napkins and everything else that goes with it, as well as deer carcasses at Layton Boat Launch. And it ain't the only place they're doing it, you know, so.
No, I can echo those statements. We actually put no dumping signs at the locker room because all the carcasses go straight across to Mr. Randy Flowers' property, so he deals with it. Sign had to get pulled up. Hopefully we put, I think we may have gotten put back, but cameras are still in discussions. I'll tell you that because I asked about them just recently, so that's still in discussion. Hopefully we'll see those soon. Any further discussion for Dylan? All right, thank you, Dylan. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Dylan.
Thank you.
It brings us to, do you have anything?
Yeah, maybe back.
No, I can't. Yeah, but I'm not gonna recognize, I'm sorry. You don't have anything else from the administration? Mr. Odero? Okay, thank you very much. Item J, discussion, number 25, discussion regarding dispensing with the Lafourche Parish Council December 2020 meeting. So I'm bringing this up for discussion. Historically, we do not do a second meeting in December as it encroaches upon the holiday season. So if anyone would like to discuss it or offer a motion that we dispense with the second meeting of December. Ms. Chasson has quickly raised her hand to offer a motion to dispense with the second meeting in December. Mr. Wendell, right behind her, has raised his hand to second that motion. Anyone wants to discuss it? There being none, we'll move into a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, and absence being Mr. Mellon. Item 26, discussion concerning the Country Club Road Gate and 2 drainage ditches, one being north of the Breton Canal and one on the south side. Mr. Lorraine.
Yeah, what this is, gentlemen, is Country Club Road. Used to be a shell road years ago. And you had a gate, it's right behind Lafourche High School on the south side. You had a gate there always, and I gave Archie some pictures, Mitch. I gave Archie the pictures to show him the gate because I had some pictures of the gate. And we were able, it was a questionable call, but we were able to blacktop that road all the way to the Country Club gate. The gate was here, the Country Club gate's here, and the course is in the back. And the owners would like to put that gate back up. Now you only got one property owner that owns all that, one property owner. And I don't know if they've been in negotiations with the DA's office, possible, I have no idea, but it's a whole year that we're talking about this. And the reason why is the vandalism. Man, they go back there, they cut roots, they throw trash, they do some other things that I can't really see. Some of the things that they do, it's unbelievable. And they would operate the gate 6 to 6, and there was always somebody in charge. And if there was something going on at the country club, somebody would be in charge of the gate, you know, where the leaves, whatever. So it was always operable the way they needed it to be. And the thing that I'm looking at, it's one landowner. If it would be 5 or 6, 10 or 12 landowners, it would be different, but just one landowner. So hopefully they can come up with something on that, because the caretakers all keep asking me about it, and I said, you know, talk to Mr. Chasson and see if we can get it rolling. But I mean, like I said, it's been going on for a year. So if we can't do it, we need to know. But if we can, they got the gate ready, they're ready to put it up. And the reason why is because of people going through trash and all that stuff, and doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. Now, the canals, we got 2 ditches on the south side of the Loop Road. You got Britain Canal, and then you got the Country Club Road. Britain Canal's in between. There was 3 ditches that tapped to the 40. It was all stopped up. All that water from Britain Canal's gotta go to the pump station where I live, Yankee Canal. We cleaned out 2 ditches. And believe it or not, by cleaning out those 2 ditches, you took about 40% of the water that would not go north, goes north now. Everything doesn't have to go down the bayou, because we cleaned them out. But we had 1 more to clean out, and we never went back and do it. And this one here drains into the Britain, and this is the main ditch from Loop Road all the way to the airport where we pump into the 40 off. Like from the airport going to the pump station, it's pretty clean. It's all dirty from the airport going north. So if we could clean that, and we have all the water, if we could clean that, that would also help the parties, because everything that drains at the airport itself has got to be pumped into the 40s. And then we got to repump it. But what we're trying to do is clean that section. You're going to bring that water to the Britain, like we did the other 2 canals. 40% of it went this way. It didn't all pile up there. What happens when it piles up, all these pastures flood, and believe it or not, it doesn't take that long to pump it out, 3-4 days, but them guys are howling. But when we share the water to go this way, it's going to be a lot better. It won't pile up as much. And that's that. Now on the country club side, I'm not that familiar with it, but I was brought to date. What it is, if we can clean the ditch on the north side to get to the Britain Canal, and we don't have to go on the green at all. It's around it. 10, 15 years ago, the levee district would always complain to us that we can never get the water to the pump stations. In 2005, when Charlotte Randolph took office, we bought all kind of equipment. That's the equipment you got today because of a $42 million budget. But all the equipment's getting old. Anytime you can dig a ditch to get some water to the pumps, that's what you need. Because they always would say they couldn't speed up the pumps because we can't get the water. You got more ditches. Anytime somebody's gonna let you dig a ditch, you should be happy to do it. And I know people say, why are we digging ditches for cattlemen? Well, let me tell you something. Without the right-of-ways for the cattlemen, you wouldn't dig any ditches. So think about that. So I just think they need to look at, and I think some of the staff went and visited that. They said that there shouldn't have been any problem. So I don't know what's taking place now. But all I can tell you, I'm not that familiar with the north side. I'm familiar with the 20 office on the north side. From 40th Street coming, that all gotta go through Britain. But I'm very familiar with the south side. On the 3 ditches we dug 2, and there's 1 left to go. And I can tell you, the caretakers of the Island family, once you dig a ditch, clean it out. You ain't going back for 20 years because they're gonna keep it up. They spray it, they take care of it. They do their business, you know. So that's it for that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lorraine. Appreciate it. With that said, that's going to bring us to the end of the meeting, as I have done the last pretty much several meetings. I'll allow everyone to air out any last final statements. I'll start off with the administration this time. Mr. Ogerell, you have any parting comments?
Just a real quick go over as far as debris. So far, we've moved 51,385 cubic yards of debris following Hurricane Zeta. Got some other quick information, that's about $969,000 in total cost that we're looking at, and that was as of Monday. So I know from time to time you get statistics, but I just want everybody to hear that we're moving debris, they're still working pretty hard. The southern zones of the parish are what's in process, which covers basically from the intercoastal south. They have one small zone in Lockport that they still have some work left to do. The rest of them are complete and green. Other than that, we want to wish everyone a very safe and Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ogeron. So for those who didn't catch it, work on debris removal. Up and down the body, I see. Mr. Jones.
Okay, with the COVID going on and everything else in 2020, glad to see it's coming to a near end. And also Mardi Gras 2021 is canceled in the city of Thibodeau. And with that, from the Jones family, we wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Mr. Adams.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I just want to wish everybody, a happy Merry Christmas, and I hope everybody has a whole good time.
Very good. Mr. Grove.
I was just gonna remind everybody, when Ms. Lisa came up and talked earlier, I'm shocked that it's 40% of people in this parish have some pre-existing conditions. But I mean, it doesn't take, you don't have to walk forward to see somebody. I mean, Ray Charles can see, including myself, the overweight people we have, and people, I go to CIS, there's a sliding door, it's packed. Think about your family and neighbors, it's not about you getting in, it's what you can do to somebody else. So just be mindful of that. Nobody wants to stifle business, everybody wants kids in school, including people like myself that have kids in school, and work from home. Just be careful. Be thankful for your blessings that you do have in this horrible year. We all are very, very blessed and very lucky. So from the Grove family, wish you all a happy Christmas, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Mr. Grove. Ms. Carleen.
From the Babbitt family, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, stay safe, and God bless all our troops.
Thank you, Ms. Carleen, for throwing that troop in there. I appreciate that. Mr. Wendell.
Just to echo everyone else, just want to wish everyone a Happy New Year, Merry Christmas from my family to yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wendell. Mr. Grove.
Same here, I'd like to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and have a safe one. Thank you.
Ms. Chasson.
Yeah, same here. Have Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year from our family and yours.
Mr. Lorraine.
Thank God 220 is almost over. On behalf of my wife, myself, my daughter Kelly, my son-in-law Max, and my two grandkids Maria and Joe, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. And let me tell you something. We need to get a hold of this virus. We have lost many people throughout the whole world, but it is hitting home. We lost a guy today, and we lost some before. And it's hopefully they can get something done with this virus to help everybody. And I mean, we even got a councilman lost a brother. You just don't know. Don't know when it's gonna hit you. And with that said, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We can still say that because Trump's still in office.
Thank you, Mr. Lorraine. I will comment on the COVID that, thankful that our parish president is involved in the system with respect to vaccine. We did have a state conference call last week regarding the vaccines, and they're going to be available here pretty quick by a couple of different vendors. Of course, there's going to be priorities with the healthcare workers, people that are high at risk, and emergency responders. So there is going to be a prioritized for the first batch that comes through, but it's close. And while we're talking about COVID and the slowdown and of our economy, I will comment for everyone through the holidays to please protect yourself, watch your belongings. I had a vehicle that was stolen a little over a week ago, a vehicle, and you never think it's going to happen to you, right? A street right outside of the building here, so backed up to a house. So, You just don't think that's gonna happen, and I wanna come in and thank the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office for working diligently, as they continue to proceed through this case. So be mindful that people are hurting through the holidays, and, watch your neighbors and watch yourself. With that said, I do want to offer from Nikki and myself, and the Otan family, everyone, safe and, healthy, family and friend-oriented, Christmas, and then as we go into the new year, prosperous for all of us, including Lafourche Parish. With that said, I entertain a motion, to adjourn this meeting. I got so moved by Mr. Adams, second by Mr. Jones, that we, adjourn the Lafourche Parish Council regular meeting of December 8, 2020, at 1808 hours. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes with 8 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absence, that absence being Mr. Melvin. Thank you.